think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Ladies and Gentiles, as I declare the lips, here is your Recaparoo for week 6. And without further ado, we're going to get the Peter Protector up and get right into the action. First off, Zachariah hurt so bad, it might be good. Took a tough L against Alfredo, who's hanging around. Low K Eckler, finally got Eckler back. He didn't do Eckler things, but Freddie still won 88.2 to 80.0. Freddie carried by Amon, Saint, Ra, Brown, Mumra, and Lamar Jackson. Like I said, Eckler's back, but he only scored 8, Jack. But it was enough to get him past Zach's team, where Jalen Hurts tries to put the hurt on, and Cooper Kupp is back with a big 24. Too bad that held Puka down, who only scored 4, as Zach still continues to deploy his entire Rams offense. Tough one for Zachariah. Moving forward, they both go to 2 and 4 as the cluster fook of a standings continues. A close one there, and a closer one here, folks, as Big Zo Aldo goes to 3 and 3, dealing an L to the undefeated C Jizzle. Undefeated no more from the top of the mountain. No chance in hell. CJ goes down $1.06 to $1.09. Only 3 points here, folks. And that is a crazy one. And they are also the highest scoring teams of the week here. So extra rough in what is a rough week in the NFL. These two teams somehow found each other. And CJ would have beat anyone else, but not Big Zo. Aldo getting in there. Patrick Mahomes doing the dirty with 17. Big 16 from A.J. Brown and Kenneth Walker. But the story of the day is Raheem Mostert, who puts on extra Mostert, scoring 32 redonkulous points to give Aldo the edge and the dub here, folks. Meanwhile, big RB days. Big 21 from Travis Etienne and a big 21 from Kyrene Williams before he went down. He got hurt in this one, folks. But $1.06, strong day, but CJ tasting defeat, going to 5 and 1 as Aldo goes to 3 and 3 in the hunt. And speaking of in the hunt, Matthew J. Segovia somehow, some way, scraping it together here, folks. Picks up another dub, goes to 3 and 3. Also, 101, putting down Dwayne Rainey. He only scored 87, goes to 2 and 4. That's so Raven. You hate to see it. He got 22 from a different purple team, the Vikings defense, but not much else to write home about as we get a spread, like a delicious buttery spread from Matthew Segovia's team. No one popping off, but lots of people doing 13 to 17 points. You'd like to see it. Consistent day from Matt, getting him over the Hundy mark and getting him the dub here, folks. Moving right along as we look at the other last undefeated team, Big Al, Jose Valdez, also learns that he can bleed as he goes down to who needs RBs. Adrian continues his little streak, scoring 96 very game points to all those to Al's disappointing 74. Adrian goes to 3 and 3 as well, and Al drops to 5 and 1 as we cluster up those standings some more, folks. Adrian continues to prove you just don't need RBs, I guess. And speaking of that, what's interesting in this game, Chubba Wubba Hubbard dropped by Al to claim the hottest diva we've ever seen, Amari DeMercado, folks. And let me tell you, banana time. The claims for DeMercado were crazy. Like 10 of the teams in the league tried to claim this dude. A couple guys throwing 15 on him, some guys throwing 20. He got for like 60 something dollars. It's freaking redonkulous here, folks, as he's supposed to do some damage for the card. 61 Al claimed him for. He wins the lottery, spends all his free agency bucks basically, but drops Chubba Hubbard. Chubba scores 15.5, and he deploys Amari DeMercado in his flex, who scores 2. Really earning those fantasy bucks. Al with the big misstep. Doesn't quite cost in the week, but morale-wise, maybe it did. Because, Adrian didn't really have a running back And then he did have one, and Al played someone who only scored 2. I mean, it was all bad. It was a big swing. But anyway, Tyreek Hill with 25 and 23 from Adam Thielen. Because who needs running backs? Adrian continues to prove as Al they attempt to carry him with Dak Prescott's 24 and the Chiefs 15. But C-Mac leaves the game, only scores 12. Montgomery leaves the game, only scores 3. Just ugly days for Obi-Wan Mahomes as he goes to 5-1. And we'll see what Adrian, if he can continue the streak here, folks. Speaking of continuing the streak, by only 3 points, we continue the losing streak as Steven Naramore, our champion, goes down to the derelicts. J-Sex gets the dub 77-74. Another super close one here. I don't know how this happens, folks. Jay Sizzle goes to 3-3 as Steven, our champ, continues to be weighed down by the gold at 0-6. Remember, you're not last until you punt the Redemption Bowl, folks. Steven's still got a chance here. Meanwhile, Steven's team somehow still has Tua. Still ain't winning. 22 points for Tua, and the rest of the team just can't get their shit together. Let me tell you, it's ugly, folks. And just when you thought there'd be light at the end of the tunnel, the 49ers did not put in Elijah Mitchell, who was on his bench. No, they put in some other guy. So he didn't even just get a running back when C-Mac got hurt. Anyway, Jay Sizzle, mostly riding the back of a spread of performances. Nothing too crazy. Solid C.J. Stroud day of 14. That's about it. Only 77 gets the dub. Squeezes on by with the victory. And talking about squeezing on by, we're going to talk about Tyree. Tyree with 87 picks up another dub somehow. Faces the Professor Ito, who's in a slide, only scoring 78. And again, Tyree going to 4-2. Somehow, some way. Like, this dude's the lowest scoring team in the league. And he just, knifes people in the back. I don't know how he does it, folks. He's subverting the odds and the luck, and he's getting just the right opponents at the right time. Great strategy, let me tell you, if you can pick your opponent. Nothing to write home about on his little team. 14s, some 15s, some 10s. And Oscarito, sort of the same. One popped off. Drake London with a solid 17 that gets you going. But you got some goosers here. Just 2 from Jerry Jeudy, 0.7 from Logan Thomas, and a very disappointing Kirk Cousin day. So, Professor's trending in the wrong direction. We'll see if he can right the ship, going to 3-3 as Tyree continues to hang in there with a playoff spot at 4-2. And the last match, I'm talking about hanging in there for playoff spots or not, old Danny Boy faces another tough L as the team just crumbles before him, losing by about 30 points here. Not a close one, 97-65. Danny Boy going to 2-4 as Ricky G continues on in his winning campaign, going to 5-1, is standing at the tippity top of the mountain with the other 5-1s now, as Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen continue to be a duo to fear, and the rest of the team just continues to be super solid. You like what you see. The team is deep. He's making moves. It's a great year for him, and not so much on the other side. Danny Boy West Justin Fields leave the game after scoring only 4. Mostly the difference, as the rest of his team sort of took a poop. D-Hop gets in there, only scoring 2. Ridley with only 4. Just disappointing days as he watches guys on his bench do better. And hey, that's been the story of the year for old Danny Boy as we roll on and he goes to 2-4. We'll take a look at the standard rules real quick, which are getting to be a real cluster, folks, as if they already weren't. 3 teams now at 5-1 at the tippity top of the mountain. You like to see that because, maybe other teams are going to get a shot at crack at this thing, because 4th place right now is 4-2. And it's Tyree, and frankly, he is the biggest fraud of a 4-2 team I have ever seen, folks. But he'll name that team later. He sits in 4th, and if the playoffs started now, he would get in there, let me tell you. Meanwhile, 64 3-3s, Aldo, Jay Sizzle, Professor Ito, Matt, and Adrian all sitting at 3-3, and then a bunch of 2-4s as Danny Boy, Zach, Dwayne, and Kalo Ekalard, Mr. Fredo sit at 2-4, and then we've got our 0-6 champion pulling up the rear, Steven Naramore. And as mentioned, the lowest scoring team in the league at 465 points, Tyree. So the next team is 493, 30 points more, and Tyree is sitting at 4-2. That team with 30 more points than him is 0-6 Steven Naramore. So go figure. The crazy part is Tyree's, points against. They're the fourth lowest in the league, so that helps. But it's all playing the right people at the right time. What's crazy is seeing the teams that are getting crapped on the most. Matt Segovia has 651 scored against him, but he's still hanging in there, So we've got some teams doing well despite the bad luck, and we'll see if all that can continue. As Ricky G won his 5th in a row, we'll see if he can keep on streaking. And we'll see if Steven Naramore will ever win a game. I don't think he can, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it for now. Make some moves and get dick out.